Today I want to tell you about a 150 kilograms girl confessed to a handsome man but she was rejected. She had plastic surgery and became a star. An ugly girl turned her body over. The film started. The protagonist Hanna was a fat and clumsy girl. She wanted to thank you for giving her a fortune. But her butt was too big and the red ink hit the boss face. She quickly wiped his face, then it turned red, and she almost laughed. When she wanted to pick up something, she accidentally knocked over the table. The boss cried and said, "What the hell are you doing?" Hanna's part-time job was providing telephone service to single men. There was a plastic surgeon who was a big fan of her. He talked to her for a long time every day. Her full-time job was as a singer. She has a beautiful voice. Because she didn't have a pretty face, she could only sing behind the scenes. The credit belonged to the singer Amy, who sang in front of the stage. Don't look at Amy's singing, she just lip-synced. Hanna, who was singing, fell in love with manager Sang Jun. With excitement in her heart, Hanna's two fat hoofs jumped unwillingly. And she stepped on the floor directly. Sang Jun immediately released the flower arrangement to divert attention. Let Amy turn around immediately and cover all this with harmony. Hanna adjusted her state and continued to sing, which resolved the performance accident. Sang Jun also knew that Amy was like a flower vase. Hanna was the real singer and hugged her as soon as she came up. This made Hanna mistakenly think that Sang Jun might like her too. Young Min, her best friend, advised her to be soberer. Don't get hurt and forget the pain. Many years ago, Hanna fell in love with a boy. She was afraid that she would not be worthy of him, so she started to lose weight. And she fainted on the first day. The 3 male doctors couldn't move her, she rolled onto the bed by herself. Since then, she knew that losing weight and love were the treasures she dared not ask for. But Hanna's love for Sang Jun was unconscious and deep, deeper than her body's meat. Even the mineral water Sang Jun drank had to be taken home to treasure. She even smelled that Sang Jun's sweater was scented. Every time Sang Jun approached her, she was shy. Sang Jun drove her home and invited her to a birthday party. This made her even more dreamy. A red dress was sent to her after Hanna put it on. Young Min immediately bowed her head and said nothing. She is like a red pigworm. At the birthday party, Hanna was sitting next to Sang Jun. Originally nothing happened. She took off her coat and everybody was stunned for an instant. Even Sang Jun took a puff of smoke. It turned out that this dress was given by Amy. Wearing the same clothes was not scary, whoever was ugly was scary. Amy deliberately made Hanna a fool and regained Sang Jun's heart. It's no good for the two women to fight like this. Sang Jun said to Amy, "You don't have to target Hanna. Her ugly look will be done by herself sooner or later. I don't like her either, I just want to use her." Amy was moved to tears. And Hanna just happened to hear all this in the bathroom, crying like a 150 kilogram baby. She went home and turned on the gas, ready to say goodbye to this cruel world. At this time, the plastic surgery doctor called and said he was so empty and lonely. He wanted to hear her voice. Hanna immediately went to a plastic surgery doctor. If he didn't give her free plastic surgery, she would hand over those awkward recordings to his wife. In desperation, the doctor had to operate immediately. It would take more than a year. She released the white cat back to nature and packed high-end ingredients. Then she came to the hospital to start a plastic surgery. Sang Jun was already crazy. He looked for Hanna but only found the white cat. Without Hanna, Amy's album was postponed again and again. Amy became an outdated singer. And Hanna in the plastic surgery hospital was getting slimmer. It was the day to uncover the gauze. She cried like a 45 kilograms baby. She walked on the street alone. The whole world belonged to her. She saw Sang Jun in the mall and followed him to the parking lot. A delivery boy, after seeing Hanna's face, hit the railing directly. I have never seen such a pure and refined girl. When she heard Sang Jun coming from behind, she immediately put on the helmet. She left hurriedly and gracefully. She heard the salesman say that she looked so charming. It was such a wonderful word she had never heard. She was excited to buy this used car. She drove out for a walk. She smiled so beautifully, like a spring flower. She hit a car due to not paying attention, and the irritable man lay on the ground immediately. You can't walk without paying for damages. Unexpectedly, Hanna slapped her hair. It was so beautiful that he was a little crazy. The man immediately became amiable. The traffic police who rushed over was also deeply fascinated by Hanna. He let a colleague direct traffic and chat with the beautiful woman. The man's head was full of blood. But he said, "It's okay, it's alright, I don't care." The traffic police also judged the man's full responsibility. Hanna's face made him fascinated. But after checking Hanna's license, he was completely dumbfounded. "Is it you?" Young Min came to the police station but didn't recognize Hanna. Instead, she came to the aunt who liked pork belly as her. It was not confirmed until both of them compared their tattoos. The beauty in front of her was Hanna, who had been missing for a year. Hanna never forgot Sang Jun. She lived with Young Min. She went to Sang Jun's studio to apply for a singer. Although the appearance completely changed, the beautiful voice was still alive. After she was singing affectionately, the boss was moved to cry. No one recognized her as Hanna. With the beautiful and lovely face, Hanna officially debuted under a new name within a few days. Amy, who was once incomparable, but now, she was forgotten. She has come to Hannah's father, who had dementia. She hoped to find Hanna one day. She could continue to lip sync. Hannah's father said a famous dictum to Amy: "In this world, only God can do whatever he wants." Hannah's performance had been out of state. John let her learn from the big fat girl before. Hanna said that this fat girl is just walking around with that body, nothing good. But John said, "This fat guy is an interesting girl." Hannah's heart melted instantly after hearing this, and her tears almost fell. It turned out that after Hanna disappeared, Sang John realized a good-looking appearance was nothing special, but a beautiful soul was rare. She planned to confess to Sang John, but Young Min persuaded her to be cautious. A woman who had undergone plastic surgery looked like a monster to a man. All the men said that plastic surgery didn't matter, but in their heart, they rejected girls who had undergone plastic surgery. Hanna never dared to confess to Sang John after listening to Young Min's advice. One time, Hanna saw the white cat which she used to raise was adopted by Sang John. Suddenly she felt very close, then she stroked the cat. She almost exposed herself. And that delivery boy, because he liked Hanna, he kept tracking her photos. Sang John wanted to teach him a lesson, but Hanna couldn't stand it anymore. Do you know how painful it is to like someone silently? She fully expressed her thoughts about Sang John. But Sang John didn't understand. Hanna wanted to visit her father, but Amy had been by his side, so she never had a chance. Seeing Amy, who had no talent for singing, was training hard, Hanna enlightened her. "My dad always confessed to me, only God can do whatever he wants. Why be so persistent if you want to do what you can?" Hannah's words made Amy suddenly realize this beautiful girl in front of her was the fat girl Hanna. On the day of the performance, Hanna suddenly knew that Young Min had committed suicide and was taken to the hospital. She hurried over. It turned out that her boyfriend broke up with her because he disliked her body. Hanna just met a jerk in the elevator. She just slapped him. "If you're ugly, are you not a human?" If it hadn't been for Sang John, the jerk would have gone out somewhere else. The performance was about to start. Sang John encouraged her to do it. Hanna suddenly felt that her love was back. A small figure burst out of magical power. She sang a song and ignited the audience instantly. With Hanna's participation, the company's achievement had bloomed. She quickly became a famous singer. The relationship with Sang John was getting closer. But 7-year-old Conan once said, "There is always only one truth." But this evening, Sang John saw the familiar sign in Hanna's room. The fat Hanna also had the same sign before. He suddenly realized something. Could this beautiful girl in front of me be the fat Hanna? Sang John couldn't accept this truth. He instantly lost his tenderness to Hanna. Amy also deliberately took Hanna's father here. To protect her true identity, Hanna ignored her father. Young Min was very disappointed with Hanna. And Sang John also said that he liked the natural beauty of Hanna. Hanna, who had undergone plastic surgery, was very grudged. Losing a friend and a lover, Hanna felt wretched. Tomorrow was her solo concert. But gossip about her plastic surgery had already spread. The boss was very angry and splashed a glass of water on her face. He requested to cancel the concert immediately. He wanted to let her take nude photos to make up for the company's loss. Sang John became angry when he heard it, angrily shattered the wine glass and shocked the boss. John encouraged her to sing for herself, not for anyone. But when she saw her father cheering for her, finally, she couldn't help but stop the guards. She willingly spoke out about herself as an ugly girl. She had the recognition since she had plastic surgery. She abandoned her friend and family. She even forgot what she looked like before. This was not the result she wanted. Sang John released a video of Hanna singing before. The fan who delivered the food was crying the most. Many audiences could also sympathize with her. How difficult it was for an ugly girl to turn over. They chose to forgive her. Hanna fell into her father's arms. The boss' son excitedly knocked on the fireworks to end this touching concert. Hanna finally became a big star as her own. The love with Sang John also got better. This comedy movie is called 200 Pounds Beauty. The story is about a fat girl who wants true love but can only be recognized through full-body plastic surgery. When appearance and talent cannot coexist, which one do you choose? Welcome to Leave a Message to Tell Harry. Like and subscribe for more reviewing videos.